everyone, it's Sam and I'm back with another video for Lawn Fawn. Today I'm using the new little letter dies, the two Fungi stamps and dies, Gleeful Garden stamps and dies, Oh Gnome stamps and dies, the stitched sentiment banners, and the Plant a Succulent die set. As always, I'm starting my card by coloring my images. I'm using Zig Clean Color Real Brush markers, and I am using mustard and vanilla to color the stems of all my little mushrooms. I have added faces and smiley faces to almost all of them, but I do find the one that I miss and add that smiley face to right there, that little guy. I was coloring the stem and thought, how did I miss this smiley face? So I'm just going to stamp that real quick. And I am starting by using the mustard color, pulling it out with a slightly damp water brush, and then using the vanilla color, I was going to say flavor, to pull out the rest of the color, just to add a slight contrast to the top and the bottom. Then I'm going to be coloring the spots on all the mushrooms with natural beige. No shading here, just a little doops of color. I'm using, let's see, what are these purples? I am using purple, light violet, and sugared almond pink for my purples. I love using that dark violet purple color with the sugared almond pink because it to me it gives the perfect shade of purple. I'm all tongue-tied with the purrs. So I colored 4 of the mushroom tops with the purple combination, and next I'm going to switch to pink and pale orange for 3 or 4 of the other mushrooms. Again, another favorite color combination of mine. I start by using the darkest color, and then the lightest color is so light that it pulls out the pink, and then at the very end you can see it leaves the pale orange color, and I love that contrast of the pale orange with the hot pink. Again, favorite, love it. I'm also using orange. I'm using orange and bright yellow to color some orange mushrooms because for some reason, I saw a purple and orange combination quilt the other day, and I thought, yes, I am making a card with purples and oranges, and that is so not me. I usually shy away from purple, but anyway, as you can see today, we are purple forward. I definitely had to use that little snail, and he had to have a snail image. I used light carmine and beige to color in the snail and the speech bubble. And I do change that later, but for now that stays. Then I just added a little bit of blush to the cheeks with that light carmine, and now we're ready to move on. I die cut all my images, and I'm die cutting all those leafy vines from the Plant a Succulent die set, and the little letter envelope I've die cut twice, and now we're going to get inky. Say goodbye to clean hands. I'm starting by using Crack Pistachio Distress Oxide ink. These are all Distress Oxide inks, by the way. I'm starting by using Cracked Pistachio just on some parts of these leaves. Every part is a little bit different. I wanted them all to look slightly different from each other and varied. And so I'm just using, this was time consuming in the sense that there were just so many leaves, but honestly not time consuming at all because it was such a small space of cardstock that I was ink blending. I'm just cleaning up that light Cracked Pistachio so it doesn't contaminate my lemony yellow green Twisted Citron, which I'm adding. I'm also adding a smidge, a whisper, a kiss of pine needles. It's such a strong color, but I did want it to add it a little bit. So I'm using Twisted Citron, Cracked Pistachio, and pine needles on these leaves. I love Cracked Pistachio and pine needles and Twisted Citron together. I think the color combination is so fun, even though it maybe doesn't sit next to each other on the color wheel, in the sense that they are very different greens, but I do love the way it looks. Those are the leaves. And then I'm going to move on to ink blending my envelopes. The envelopes are going to be 2 different colors. The first envelope is, I'm using Seedless Preserved and Milled Lavender. I'm just using a tiny bit of Seedless Preserves around the edges of the envelope, and then Milled Lavender to pull it out a little bit. As you can see, I don't do the middle at all because it won't be seen. It's going to be the back. But I do I was trying to avoid that. I do ink blend the inside flap of the envelope, since that will be seen, since I'm going to keep these envelopes. One is going to be open, like the one on flap. So same here. Picked raspberry along the edges, dried marigold to pull it out, nothing in the middle. Then flipping it over, picking one flap to do the same ink blending, so that when everything is folded together, it is all the same colors. But I can't stop here, because if you know me, you know I have to splatter. So here I go. I'm just going to splatter some white acrylic ink all over my leaves and my envelopes. I'm kind of covering my images that I colored so they don't get ink splatters on them this time. And I love ink splatters on ink blended backgrounds. Next, I'm using the Stitch Sentiment Banner to die cut from black licorice cardstock. And I'm going to heat emboss in white the sentiment from To a Fungi. It says, I'm so glad I picked you, or I'm glad I picked you. Next, my envelopes are all dry, so I'm just folding them over to create my envelope. They all have perforated or scored lines, so I'm just folding along the scored lines. I'm just using a little bit of glue along the edges to hold them down. It popped up a little, so I just add a little dot more. And same with the purple, folding it along the scored edges, keeping the one flap open. I do fold it though, so it has that line of fold. So it kind of looks like an envelope, but I don't glue the top envelope flap down. And that's basically what the card is going to look like when we're finished. Basically, I do move it around a little bit because I can't remember, but I'm having the mushrooms and the leaves all popping out of the envelope, and I've had this idea for a while, and I just love this. This little envelope die, I'm keeping it on my desk forever because I feel like it's going to be used a lot. It is very cute. I can't wait to make cards with it with the flaps closed as well. There's so many options. So in this case, we're filling them with mushrooms and leaves because, remember the sentiment was, I'm glad I picked you, and these are all things you can pick. And I just thought it was so sweet. Again, I am using gluing everything directly to the envelope. Just kind of seeing where it fits, moving things around. Next, once all the envelopes, both envelopes are done, I couldn't resist making that speech bubble a little bit darker. I always admire and love soft pastel colors, but I have to have bold. I have to have bold, bright colors, and so I had to go back in and change that. Next, I'm just going to glue. I have a little battle with the glue gun, or the glue bottle, but I'm gluing them directly to my cardstock, which is white wood grain, which I love that little detail with these little floral and viney images. As you can see, my glue is dripping on the side. That's a science thing I can't explain, but it's happening while I glue and add foam tape to things. But and I'm off screen here. I'm so sorry. I didn't realize it. But I'm just gluing down the snail and the speech bubble onto my white wood grain cardstock. And that's basically the card. I'm taking a card base that I have, adding glue to the background. Again, a little bit of struggle bus with the glue, but we come out on top, people. And glue it down, and that's the card. The card is done. I super love these colors. I love the contrast of the pinks and purples and oranges with the green. I love the splatters of the ink and how fun and happy all those mushrooms are. Thank you so much for joining me while I made this card. Be sure to check it out on the Lawn Fawn blog and have a great day. Bye!